Ginni Rometty, CEO of IBM. Thanks for sitting down with me just after you got off the stage delivering the opening keynote.
Thank you. Great fun to be here.
To start, the news out of Washington, and IBM is one of the top companies as far as federal government contracts, about $1 billion a year you tend to get in terms of that. So I'm wondering, at what point, in terms of length, on this shutdown, at what point does it start to really have an impact on businesses like IBM that do business with the government?
Yeah, well, I think first a couple points on that. One is that we've done work, as you just pointed out, with the federal government for a very long time. So we are accustomed to work through these things. And so we're here and ready to go when they're ready to go. But as I was mentioning to you earlier, I think the government, when they've done some good planning. Not everything, as you know, shuts down. So there are different kinds of impacts in different places. And so it isn't as if all of the business is impacted.
Right. I want to talk about artificial intelligence. You put forth some new ideas that IBM has on stage. One of them, Project Debater,
yes,
which is basically artificial intelligence, not just able to answer questions or play games, but engage in full-on debates on topics live with debating experts, listen to their arguments, and then do a counter-argument. How is a technology like that going to change the way companies tackle problems?
Yes. So really what we tried to do was introduce, because I think people confuse all these different forms of AI, and we gave the audience a kind of a spectrum to think about. On one hand, there's narrow AI, which is simple, do one thing, one task, one domain, play a song. On the other end,
cats.
You can identify a cat, see a picture. On the other end, people often talk about general AI, which is really mimicking what you and I do. That's decades away. We wanted to introduce this thing called broad, which says, hey, if I'm in a domain and I do one thing, it's not too hard to train me how to do something adjacent. So if I am an insurance company and I can identify roofs, and I've been trained on roof types, and I'm able to see this, well, once I've seen one roof damaged by hail, do I have to train to see every kind? Or no, I can see and I can identify hail on any kind of roof. So this idea of broad, this next level of AI, broad AI, it's really important for a business because it does two things. Reduces a lot the training time and therefore time to market. So that is, if you talk to anybody about, well, why can't AI get going faster? It's the training time. And so that will make a big difference for business. So any decision, you can learn the next adjacent thing. And that's why I think the insurance and a roof is a good example of that. But you mentioned Project Debater, so that's another form, pushing the edge, which I would say, take any kind of one of your speakers at home, talk to it 4 minutes and see what it does, right?
Not much.
Not much.
Right.
It will do nothing.
Simple commands, pretty much back and forth, retrieving information.
And it's really speech to text to search is what it's doing. What Debater's able to do is I call it comprehension. So it can take, and you can speak to it for minutes and minutes and minutes, and it's able to actually understand what you're saying. And so what we've been working on, in fact, unveiled some of it for the first time 6 months ago, but here at CES, we're going to pick a controversial topic every day. Today it's going to be, should gambling be banned? And the masses, online from wherever you are in the world or here, can put in their arguments, pro and con. And it's a technology to go through, understand arguments, their veracity, how many people feel a certain way, and it will build the pro and the con case. And so for a business, right?
Right. I also want to ask you about the global economic picture.
Okay.
While I've got you, we had this announcement from Apple last week talking about conditions in China. There's some concern over German industrial output today, but at the same time, the U.S. economy seems to be chugging along pretty well. You've got a global perspective. Are you surprised by the China and Germany announcements, or does it line up with what you're seeing?
I was just having a discussion. The keynote I did this morning, I was with Delta, Walmart, ExxonMobil all joined me, and a number of us were talking about this. I do see with clients today, they're looking for two different value propositions that I think line up with what you just said. If I look at a longer arc of time, you had a lot of focus on innovation. Today, what I see clients asking for is innovation and productivity at the same time. So I think that's a signal of how people are feeling. They want to look at things that do both of these. So that's definitely something I see. For us, I feel very good. We're good in both ends of that spectrum of being able to help people with cost savings as well in productivity as well as innovation. But you definitely see that move amongst what people are focusing on.